Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to this new episode of Sudan in Focus weekly news magazine, which focuses on Sudan news and events, aims to give the Sudan TV audience a broad and first-hand information about what is going on in Sudan. So let's go.
The chairman of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, today sent a cable of condolences and sympathy to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed on the victims of landslides that killed more than 200 people and left hundreds missing. In his cable, the President of the Sovereign Council expressed the condolences of the Sudanese government and people to the brotherly Ethiopian people in this humanitarian catastrophe that occurred due to floods and rains in southern Ethiopia. He affirmed Sudan's solidarity with Ethiopia in this ordeal, and his readiness to do everything that would alleviate the impact of the disaster on the Ethiopian people. The chairman of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, issued today a decision approving the decision of the Council of Ministers to appoint Bahr al-Din Adam Karama as Governor of West Darfur State. He directed the Ministry of Cabinet Affairs and the competent authorities and agencies to put the decision into effect.
The chairman of the Transitional Sovereignty Council and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, received His Excellency Sheikh Sultan bin Saad al-Muraiki, Minister of State at the Qatari Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who conveyed to him the greetings of His Highness Prince Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Emir of the State of Qatar, and affirmed his country's support for the legitimate government and the Sudanese armed forces in facing the challenges facing Sudan. The Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Hussein Al-Amin, said in a press statement that the Qatari minister expressed his hope that peace would prevail in Sudan, stressing his country's support for every sincere initiative aimed at this. Ambassador Hussein explained that the President of the Sovereign Council expressed during the meeting his appreciation and the appreciation of the Sudanese people for the sincere positions of the State of Qatar and its leadership in support of the government and people of Sudan. He stressed the ability of the Sudanese armed forces and people to overcome the current stage steadily and strongly in order to preserve Sudan, its people and the unity of its land. The Deputy Chairman of the Sovereignty Council, Commander Malik Agar, was briefed upon his meeting with the Minister of Culture and Information, Dr. Graham Abdul Kader, on the performance of the ministry and its plans for the next stage and the work of the councils and bodies affiliated with the ministry in the laws regulating it. The meeting dealt with the performance of the media center recently established by the ministry to highlight the activities of the state. The Minister of Culture briefed the Deputy Chairman of the Sovereign Council on the ministry's efforts in the following antiquities, noting that the ministry received an invitation from the Russian Ministry of Culture to participate in the Multicultural Forum within the framework of the world's trend towards abolishing cultural borders. The Deputy Chairman of the Sovereignty Council, Commander Malik Agar, met in his office in Port Sudan, the Federal Minister of Health, Haytham Mohammed Ibrahim, in the presence of the Director of the General Administration of Therapeutic Medicine, Dr. Al-Mughira Al-Amin, the Executive Director of the National Fund for Medical Supplies, Dr. Sheikh Al-Din Abdul Baki, and the Director of the Executive Office, Mr. Mohammed Omar. The Minister stressed, in a press statement after the meeting, that the delivery of health services to all states and regions of Sudan is a top priority, committed to working on the stability of the drug supply, especially for people with chronic diseases, noting that the meeting discussed the health situation in the country, pointing out that through field visits to 4 states, Kassala, Khartoum, the Nile River, and the North, the pharmaceutical situation was reassured. The Office of the Spokesperson for the Armed Forces reported that a militia force estimated at a fully armed infantry platoon and a number of combat vehicles were handed over to our forces in Shindi today, Wednesday, July 24, 2024. He stressed that the armed forces welcome returnees from the ranks of the rebellion to the arms of the homeland and its armed forces. The Humanitarian Aid Commission renewed Sudan's commitment to facilitate the delivery of humanitarian aid to the areas affected by the violations of the Rapid Support Militia. Acting Humanitarian Aid Commissioner Osman Kojali pointed out during the press conference today at the Coral Hotel, which was organized by the Ministry of Culture and Information in coordination with the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Agriculture and Health and the Humanitarian Aid Commission on the humanitarian, food, agricultural and health conditions in the country. The government's commitment to cooperate with the United Nations in the efforts to deliver humanitarian aid to the affected areas, refers to the guidelines and measures taken by the government to assist organizations in their work and overcome the obstacles facing organizations in carrying out their duties. He added that the allegations of some countries and organizations that the government obstructed the delivery of aid were pure slander and baseless. The passports are claimed to have been recovered from Omdurman, the city across the Nile from the capital, Khartoum, in an area that was held by the RSF but recently reclaimed by the Sudanese army. Analysts described the discovery as a smoking gun that challenged UAE denials and raised questions over what the US and UK know about the level of the Gulf states' involvement in Sudan and whether the West has done enough to rein in backing of a militia accused of genocide. The former Sudan advisor to the U.S. government, Cameron Hudson, said the West would be obliged to act. This will force Washington to acknowledge what it knows about this, and will force them to respond, he said. Some experts believe that, without the UAE's alleged involvement, the conflict driving the world's worst ongoing humanitarian crisis would already be over. The document, sent last month to the UN Security Council, also indicates that the Emirates has supplied the RSF with drones modified to drop controversial thermobaric bombs. These are more devastating than conventional explosives of similar size, and there have been calls to ban them. The papers include photographs of pages of 4 passports apparently belonging to UAE male nationals, 2 born in Dubai, 1 in the city of Al Ain and another Amman, the 5th largest city in the UAE. All are aged between 29 and 49. A source familiar with the discovery said the passports were recovered from the wreckage of a vehicle found in Omdurman in February. The assessment is that they belong to UAE intelligence officers, they added, speaking on condition of anonymity. 2 passports belonging to Yemeni nationals were found in the same location, with one, a 38-year-old, born in Dubai, and a 31-year-old from Dale, southwest Yemen. The RSF has previously sent thousands of its fighters to Yemen to fight against the Houthis, and the apparent recovery of Yemeni passports in Sudan suggests such help may have been reciprocated. However, UN sanction monitors have described claims that the UAE provided military support to the RSF as credible.
This scrapyard in Old Omdurman in the Sudanese capital is where Tariq Kamil has come to look for his car. He bought it with his life savings, he says, but left it behind when the fighting between the army and the rapid support forces forced him from his home. Now it's nowhere to be found.
When the army regained control of our district, we returned and couldn't find our car. Those who stayed behind told us the rapid support forces had taken it. We were told they broke into the house and took our car and our cousin's car.
Cars have long been a source of income for Sudanese, but they've become a defining feature of the latest violence. Video footage shows fighters from the paramilitary RSF forcing people from their vehicles and using them in their assaults on the army. Sudan's police say nearly 40,000 cars have been reported missing or stolen since the start of the conflict last year. While some have been recovered after the army regained territories from the RSF here in the capital, the conditions they're found in tell the tale of what they've been through and of the severity of the conflict. From being caught in the crossfire to hit by artillery, abandoned vehicles are brought here. Jamal Al-Tayyib says the RSF stole his car in Khartoum where he used to live.
The RSF came and our neighbours said they stole our car. When we heard cars were being recovered, we came to see if it was among them, and we found it.
Others aren't as lucky. Social media pages help people trace their vehicles, and authorities have launched a campaign to reunite owners with their vehicles.
We've set up committees and we hope to expand them so everyone who has lost a vehicle, not just cars but motorcycles and rickshaws, will be able to find it. People only have to report their vehicle missing online. We work under a security umbrella. We take permits from authorities to go and look for cars once an area is secure.
But the ongoing fighting means many Sudanese are in limbo. People like Tariq are hoping to find their cars and regain some of what they've lost in the conflict. Hiba Morgan, Al Jazeera, Durman.
Areas of mechanized agriculture and areas of traditional rain-fed agriculture are among the most important sectors and agricultural button in Sudan, contributing to the national product of strategic analysis, especially millet. The millet crop occupies its leading position as an indispensable strategic crop and one of the most important crops in Sudan. Among the most important areas that are famous for cultivating millet are North Kordofan and South Kordofan, Darfur, then Gadarif, Kassala, Blue Nile, and New Halfa. One of the best cultivation patterns used for cultivating millet is traditional rain-fed agriculture, and the best planting dates are mid-June. As per some studies have shown, the varieties used as seeds for growing millet in terms of resistance to pests and disease, and also in terms for productivity are the improved varieties Ashana. The United Nations declared the year 2023 as the International Year of Millet with the aim of creating awareness and increasing the production and consumption of millet grains, as millet is considered a food beneficial to human health. The World Food and Agriculture Organization FAO hopes through the International Year of Millet to stimulate interest in millet among various stakeholders, including farmers, youth, and society civilian in Sudan. Millet comes directly after sorghum. In average, annual cultivated areas is 6 million acres, and about 95% of this area is cultivated in the states previously mentioned above. Choosing the millet crop as the crop of the year 2023 should be an incentive for those in charge of agriculture in the country to redouble their efforts to increase Sudan productivity from this strategic crop. Sudan is one of the most important and one of the major millet producing countries such as India and China, and efforts are to be doubled to increase the productivity of millets per acre through the use of modern technologies and mechanisms, as Sudan has great natural resources in the fields of agriculture, livestock, and other resources that enable it to take the lead regionally and internationally in the field of food security. The Minister of Agriculture and Forestry stated that his ministry has developed a strategic plan to increase the country's production of millet, as it is one of the most of the food crops that large segments of Sudanese society depends on, pointing out that the United Nations has chosen the millet to be the crop of the year 2023. He stated that the previous season witnessed a productivity of 8 million tons of millet, indicating that Sudan possesses the capabilities that enable it to be at the forefront of millet exporting countries. The minister confirmed that There are new partnerships that support and develop millet cultivation in Sudan, such as the Indian Embassy and the Sudanese Arab Seed Company. The Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization said, millet grains are enormous crops with high nutritional value and stressed that grains play an important role and contribute to our collective efforts to enable sustainable development and enhance economic growth. He stressed that the International Year and the push towards increasing millet production will contribute to the Lion Sustainable Development for the year 2023. According to the studies and research conducted on millet, it is characterized by containing a high percentage of protein and micro and macro minerals, and eating it protects against malnutrition and lethargy. It also contains a high percentage of fiber and characterized by being free of gluten and being antioxidants. Millet is an example of healthy eating and a first-class nutritional value. Therefore, we conclude that Sudan is a country of great opportunities and has a bright future of food security field and is a world food basket.
Sudan is a country rich in forests with an area of about 10 million hectares, or about 12% of country's total area. These forests include a variety of trees, including hard and soft woods. The annual production of wood in Sudan is about 15 million cubic meters, of which about 10 million cubic meters are hardwoods. Hardwoods are considered one of the most important natural resources in Sudan, as they are used in many applications such as furniture industry, treated wood industry, paper industry, and energy industry. The timber industry is considered one of the most important industries in Sudan, providing job opportunities for more than 20,000 people. Types of woods produced in Sudan. The following are the most important types of wood production in Sudan. Ebony, it's a black hardwood and is used in making jewelry, and or mosque wood is also found in Sudan. It's a hard white wood that is used in the manufacture of furniture and household items. Hashitik, it's a hard dark colored wood used in making furniture and ships. Beechwood, it's a brown hardwood and is used in making furniture and household items.
كل مغرب